Alright, no more into titles. Today, I'll be talking about one of the big three of silent comedy. Now, the biggest of those three would of course be Big Me Charlie Chaplin, whose comedy was the most commercially and culturally dominant of all. If there was a bronze medalist, that would be Harold Lloyd, who did well in his day but quickly fell behind the times. But maybe I should scrap this whole metaphor before I have to compare Buster Keaton to Drake. No one wants to be Drake. Like Chaplin and Lloyd, Keaton made and starred in his own films and became very popular doing it. But unlike Chaplin's sentimentality and Lloyd's theatricality, Keaton carved out a niche of his own. Deadpan surrealism, much more Monty Python than Saturday Night Live. Keaton became known as the quintessential comedic straight man, the Great Stone Face. Keaton was also one of the most talented stuntmen of the century, even eclipsing the superlative acrobatic work of Lloyd in his 1924 feature Safety Last. Buster weathered a lot of self-abuse in pursuit of comedy greatness, all while wearing the same blank expression that he claimed earned more laughs than when he smiled. His best-known admirers included playwright Samuel Beckett, surrealist Luis Buñuel, Soviet film pioneer Sergei Eisenstein, and me, Ghoulthazar. Our first showing tonight is 1 Week, Keaton's first as director and star. Well, technically it was his second because he shelved an entire short after it didn't live up to his expectations. Now that's relatable. 1 Week centers on the setup of a prefabricated house, a topic that's as trendy in the 2020s as it was in 1920. This is a 2-reel short, which means it features 2 reels of film about 12 minutes long each. I hope it tickles you like it tickles me. Now let's go spend a week with Buster. Both in a narrative and literal sense, One Week is a very structural piece of art. Keaton loved that kind of metatextual composition, and he used it brilliantly in our next film, 1924's Sherlock Jr. The 4 years between the two films saw the feature-length silent comedy develop into the most popular form of mass entertainment in the world. So with this 5-reel comedy, Keaton sought to do something barely yet attempted, making a film about film. For such an early film, Sherlock Jr. is a remarkable exercise in form. Few 1920s films have had more ink spilled about them, and that would still be the case even if Keaton didn't parody the still popular detective Sherlock Holmes. Media scholar Henry Jenkins once wrote that if there were two opposing film teachers, the elder a strict formalist and the younger a radical deconstructionist, both would teach Keaton and both would teach Sherlock Jr. I'd add that both would probably love me, Ghoulthazar. I don't want to give any more away, so here's some things to think about. What do you think Sherlock Jr. says about cinema? How do the film's structure and narrative work to support its jokes? And who do you think the real Sherlock Jr. is? I know those bullet points are a bit weirder than usual, but hey, I trust ya a lot. Let's-a go! Now let's talk about that aforementioned big three. As a reminder, that's Chucky Chaplin, Hanky Lloyd, and Busty Keaton. Chaplin's films often centered on a lovable yet tricky bum named the Tramp, a poor man with a rich spirit. The films were sentimental, life-affirming, and riotously funny, especially back then. At one point, Chaplin was the most famous person in the world. Unlike Keaton, who used the film screen to enlarge his possibilities, Chaplin used the screen to blow up his small-scale act for all to see. That's that good old chunky Chapler. Third Fiddle Lloyd also had a character of his own, the Glasses character, and his films were more about showcasing the hotshot's acting than reveling in pure slapstick. Later in his career, Lloyd fell off in a major way, partly because he would rarely allow his films to play in theaters. If there's a low chance that a modern cinephile would know who Chaplin and Keaton are, then there's a much lower chance of them being a member of the Lloyder Squad. Besides their long-term success, one thing really separated Lloyd from the big two. Chappie and Keaty each had years of experience performing vaudeville, a type of theatrical variety show popular around the turn of the 20th century. Joseph Frank Buster Keaton was born into a vaudevillian family. It's reported that he crawled on stage and interrupted his parents' performance at just 11 months old, and he started officially performing at 3½, then became the star of the show at the tender age of 5. His role was very similar to Bart Simpson's, literally just getting launched around by his dad. With Sherlock Jr., Keaton wanted to make a movie that incorporated as many vaudeville tricks as possible. Like the film, vaudeville had a transgressive form that encompassed different modes of entertainment. The goal was always to put on the most spectacular show possible, with no regard for continuity or for preservation of the fourth wall. If he was born in the 1980s, he probably would have been a writer on Family Guy. Okay, that's... Go to the thing. Go to the thing. We're getting weird with it, babes. There are a lot of similarities between One Week and Sherlock Jr., but I think the most compelling one is their shared interest in the operational aesthetic, a term coined by historian Neil Harris that refers to a delight in observing processes and examining for literal truth. Since the 19th century, Americans have been, shall we say, certain of their opinions. Rapid progress and rampant individualism will do that to you. To capitalize on that self-certainty, printers made technical manuals on all subjects, pranksters created dubious hoaxes, and authors wrote hundreds of paragraphs lengthily describing the most minute details of their story. Looking at you, Herman Melville. These were forms of intellectual exercise for the learned public, even if what they were evaluating wasn't true. Crime novels came from the same impulse, as did YouTube prank videos. But before P.T. Barnum and others trained Americans to absorb knowledge, many felt uncomfortable encountering masterful works of art because they didn't know how to analyze them or their own feelings about them. These were not an analytical people, or an emotional one. Not sure what kind of people they were, to be honest. But less than 100 years later, they were an analytical people, and Buster Keaton knew exactly how to stimulate them with something worth analyzing. Do mine own eyes deceive me? Is that my beautiful off-screen alien wife, Sandralex? Oh my God, it is. And that means it's time for Ghoul Advice. Dear Ghoulthazar, you can call me Gary Stoneplate. I question you thusly. Every movie theater is closing, and every streaming service sucks. Every movie that does come out is stupid. Will there ever be another Godfather? Or another Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein? Or another Betty Boop's Crazy Inventions? How do we save the movies and make them good again? You know, Gary, there isn't one answer. You can cancel a streaming service when it gets too expensive, but most people will probably just keep theirs out of laziness. You can tell your friend to go see a Looney Tunes movie, but it'll probably be taken out of theaters after a week or two. You can start a DVD collection to mitigate digital rot, but you'll be spending exponentially more money than you would digitally. And that's to say nothing of the political and financial instability here in Los Estados Unidos. It's never been more important to be media literate, to use critical thinking, and to enjoy life to the fullest. I think we save movies the same way we save each other, with everyone doing what they can. Go see movies, go buy DVDs, go make more emails for free trial signups. Live a life so full that they can't possibly take it all away from you. BRB, gang. What did you think? Pretty good for a centennial, eh? Sherlock Jr. is certainly one of the best films in the public domain oeuvre, and since the 80s, it's held down the fort as the canonical Keaton film, and one of the canonical silent films in general. Many have written that the so-called inner film and outer film are essentially each their own little movie, or two back-to-back vaudeville acts. But there isn't really any narrative purpose for the inner film. Before the FWAF, film within a film, even begins, the girl solves the whole case, meaning the narrative tension lies instead within whether or not our working-class hero will find a way out of that inner film. Like those 1800s Americans, we're examining for literal truth. Look at us. And in the words of D.N. Roderick, if Keaton is Sherlock Jr., then we are Sherlock III. But as is the case with film in general, silent comedies were very focused on appealing to male audiences. And Sherlock Jr. is an example of that. It sees its loser protagonist imagine a world where he's smart, he's classy, and he gets the girl. But at the same time, it doesn't really uphold patriarchal values. The female love interest solves the crime, the protagonist goes back to his loser self, and the film's final gag finds him unsure of his place in the nuclear family. That's kind of the exact domain of the patriarchy. In general, Sherlock Jr. was made during an interesting time for masculinity. Interest was shifting from the intelligent Holmesian detective to the tough, hard-boiled private eye. In other words, the queer-coded Holmes was bending the knee to the hyper-heterosexual Marlowes and Spades of the world. But our protagonist's interest still does lie with the former. Even in the inner film, he's smaller and more waifish than his rival, but his cleverness and craftiness still win him the day. By taking the mantle of Sherlock Jr., he is performing masculinity. Yet at the end of the film, he's questioning it. But Keaton doesn't just challenge gender norms, he also challenges notions this country was built on. In his book on Keaton, Daniel Mose writes that Keaton plays the reversal of the American ideal, a hero through no intention of his own. To close, I'd like to read a 1924 review of the film by Variety, the outlet that loves to bury every outspoken actor and underperforming film in Hollywood to this day. In addition to calling the entire film bunk, save for the cool film montage, they wrote, "This Buster Keaton feature-length comedy is about as unfunny as a hospital operating room. It is far and away the most laughter-lacking picture that Deadpan Buster has turned out in a long, long while. In other words, it's a flop, and the week's box office receipts at the Rialto will undoubtedly prove that to be the case. Would you look at that, it's the world's first hate tweet. But don't worry, Buster. Some people still love you. Some people would have rocked with you back then, if they were alive at the time. Some people, like me. Ghoulthazar." And that's our inaugural season of Ghoulthazar Presents. I hope I get to show you more movies in the future. We tried to get Buster Keaton on, but he slipped on a banana peel and he shattered every bone in his body and he died. Very sad. We'll see you next time. Ghoul night and ghoul luck.